understand the Iliad, it's important to understand more about its author, Homer. Now, not much is known about Homer. He's the poet to whom ancient Greeks attributed the epic poems the Iliad and the sequel, the Odyssey. Most of what is understood about Homer is taken from the poems themselves. Now, scholars believe that Homer lived around the early 9th or late 8th century BCE in Ionia, a city in what is now considered Turkey. His description in the Odyssey is of a poet or singer, a bard, and he's often depicted as being blind. Homer belonged to an oral poetry tradition based on the writing style of the poems. These stories were passed down through memorization and were sung by a poet for an audience. That's right. That means all of the Iliad was passed on between different communities in spoken storytelling formats. Traditionally, these stories were likely the length of what could be performed from beginning to end in the course of an evening. Homer seems to have stitched a number of stories together into one complex epic story. Such a poem could only have been performed over the course of many days. And at the time, the most likely development of the Iliad was the 8th century BCE, when the Greek alphabet was coming into increased use. The earliest written version of the Iliad was recorded using this alphabet and contains elements of the earliest form of Greek writing. Now, this new technique of writing played a part in the development and preservation of such a long and complex work. Whether Homer was purely an oral poet who dictated the Iliad to a literate assistant, or composed it in writing himself, continues to be debated by scholars and historians to this day. The Iliad, no matter how you look at it, continues to remain a powerful, much debated, and discussed work thousands of years after its publication.